Hello, hello! Today we are going to be making a drunk Bumpy cocktail inspired by the Grogu of the Jurassic franchise, Bumpy. When I was crafting this cocktail, I had three requirements. First, I wanted to match these two colors, the tan of the body and the teal of the shell. Second, I wanted it to be summery to reflect the summertime nature of Camp Cretaceous. And finally, it had to be bumpy. For that, we're going to use frozen grapes instead of ice cubes. You can go ahead, plunk a handful in there. Fill it up to about halfway. If you've got a cocktail shaker, you can use that to help you out. Otherwise, you can just stir stuff up in whatever you've got laying around. Now, this is a drunk Bumpy, so shell's going to be on the bottom. For our blue layer, we are going to need 1 part lemonade. Fill that up, pour that in. 1 part coconut rum, my favorite. Fill it up, pour that in. Finally, we'll need just a little bit of blue curacao for the color, just a splash. Stir it up. And if you pour too much in, not the end of the world because it's delicious. Pour that over the grapes. For the second layer, you'll need another part of lemonade. That in there. There you go. You'll need a shot of gold rum. Just one. Yeah. For some extra fun, get a little bit of dark spiced rum. Up to half a shot. Pour that in. Stir it up. You're going to take your spoon, put it to the level of liquid, and slowly pour in the top layer, lifting up the spoon as you go. Pour the rest of that in there. Good enough! Now, I've made this drink a few times. Sometimes it's better than others. Sometimes it looks like this, and sometimes it looks like this. Whenever you're making drinks, play around with it, have fun, stay safe, drink plenty of water. Spoiler alert, if you have not seen Season 2 of Camp Cretaceous, go check it out. It's on Netflix right now. Here we have the complete Bumpy figure collection. I'm going to start with these little guys just because there's so many of them. We now have 4 iterations of this little dude, all almost exactly the same, save for some slight variations here and there. The first time I saw this guy was in the 15-pack of Camp Cretaceous minis that was only available at Target. And by was, I mean is, because those things are still filling the shelves. Go pick it up, it's a great set. For some reason, this little dude was packaged with his tail upside down. You can tell it's upside down because it's smooth here, and the scoots continue here. Nice detail, teal paint on the top, nice gray on the asymmetrical horns. As far as articulation goes, his tail can swing back and forth, and as you can tell from the way it's packaged, the entire thing can go upside down. There are these tiny brown flecks all throughout the figure. These appear to be molded into the plastic, so there will be variations from figure to figure. This guy could also be found in the 10-pack of Camp Cretaceous minis that was available at Fred Meyer, Kroger, and Amazon, but it is the exact same figure. This little guy was released a 3rd time in the Camp Cretaceous Adventure set with the Stegosaurus, Baryonyx, and Darius. Now mine is missing some paint on the top of his head. I haven't seen this mentioned anywhere else, so I assume this is just a factory error and not some special variant. This little dude was released a 4th time in the mini Action Dino blind bags, again with his tail upside down. Same exact mold, same exact paint, except it might be suffering from, mold degradation? The parts of the mold didn't quite line up perfectly on mine. If for some reason you really need the blind bag version, the code ends in 36N. It does come with a checklist of all the rest in the series. With the special Indominus Rex, don't be fooled, it does not actually have a painted pink tongue. But I can get to that in another video. There you have Darius with Bumpy. This guy is easy as heck to get. The Camp Adventure set with Darius, the Stegosaurus, and the Baryonyx has been on sale at Target multiple times and is still there. I'm sure you should be able to get that on clearance at some point. You can find the 15-pack at Target or on their website. You can find the 10-pack at Fred Meyer or Kroger. It should still be available on Amazon. The blind bags are just starting to show up, so you should be able to find that one as well. Ooh, that drink is stronger than it looks. I did not need 4 of these guys. Then there's the Happy Meal version, which came in an egg, which is a pretty nice touch. But it might have taken you a while to get it because all the McDonald's in your area were still full of the Onward toys, and it could have been weeks before you actually got your hands on one of the Camp Cretaceous things. The egg pops open. Inside we have a little Bumpy. He has a button on his back that when pressed, moves his head and tail. Unlike all the other Bumpy figures released, this one does not have a clear paint division between the shell and the rest of the body. It has this fade. Out of all the Camp Cretaceous Happy Meal toys, I think this one is the best. If you miss picking this guy up at McDonald's, check your local Goodwill or Savers or Value Village. These and the T-Rex and the Carnotaurus and the Triceratops are showing up in droves there, at least in my area. Then you have the Snap Squad version if you're into that chibi, super deformed look. I think the paint on this guy is stellar. It's got that gunmetal on the beak and tail. It's got silver on the horns and the rest of his scoots. Pink rubber inside the mouth with those painted teeth. The weird part is, and it's harder to tell on video, it's so much more jarring in person. The head seems more of a sky blue, while the paint on the shell is so much more of a teal. The head color appears to be the color of the plastic, whereas the shell color appears to be paint. I don't know why the colors are so different. This guy also has a great distinction between the two sizes of horns. This guy came in a wave of all metallic repaints, so I'm sure they'll come out with a regular non-metallic version of this guy. The tail moves back and forth, the legs are all really loose because you can dangle him from your backpack or whatever. He does a good Ben impression. I'm not gonna let go. I've only seen this wave of Snap Squads at Fred Meyer, Kroger, and Target. Then you have the Attack Pack that's just starting to hit saturation, so I hope you can get your hands on this one. I know this guy was getting scalped like mad on eBay. Hold out. I have faith that you'll find one. Inside the package, he comes with this little Camp Cretaceous booklet and sticker set. The booklet has a little maze that takes you past a variety of dinosaurs that just happen to be the same shape and size and color as these stickers. And if you don't know how to get through the maze, the answer's on the back. Then you've got your Bumpy. I think the attack packs are supposed to be in scale, but I don't know, that just seems way too big. Head can spin around. I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you can. You can look up and down, kind of wiggle around. All the legs can move. You can get him into a wide variety of poses from running to standing. The tail cannot spin around, but can move left and right. The bumps on the back are made from a softer rubber. For those who have the app, there you go. I do appreciate the paint and detail on this guy. Like I said before, this guy is starting to hit saturation, so this guy should be readily available at a Target near you, or whatever store is still stocking the current attack packs. Last but not least, my favorite, the Takara Tomy figures. These are from their Ania toy line, which features small animal replicas, pretty sweet figures. Before I get to the figures, I want to acknowledge this packaging. It's amazing. They set the packaging up in such a way that no matter what the display is like, these figures can fit on the shelf. When I was in Tokyo, I saw such a wide range of displays. When shelf space was limited, they had these on their sides, so they didn't take up much space widthwise. There were some that had these just out front on the shelves. And my favorite part, this part pops up so it can hang on a peg. Now looking back, I thought this might be adult or sub-adult Bumpy, but the packaging does just call it Ankylosaurus and Bumpy. Inside we have what I think is the most screen-accurate baby Bumpy. Detail and paint is great. The head is just on this ball joint, so you can look up, down, all around, spin around, and I think that looks a little bit better. Here he is next to the mini. You can see that each of these scoots are painted. Then you have the adult. Look at this thing. I love it. I love it so much. For articulation, the head can look left and right. It can also spin around, and you can also finagle it so that the head can look up and down. Same thing with the tail. Tail can go left and right, but you could also manipulate the joint a bit until the tail can go up and down. I don't think this is adult Bumpy because the head spikes are the same size. You don't need to go to Japan to pick this one up. It should still be available on many of the Japanese websites. Hobby Search, Hobby Link Japan, AmiAmi, check those out. So there are all the Bumpy figures released thus far. If you're into Bumpy, you can grab all of them, or I hope at least one of them suits your collection, however you have that set up. If there is a Bumpy figure that I missed, please let me know. It would be really dumb of me to call this the complete collection when it isn't. Also, when you're done with the drink, you get some nice cold boozy grapes at the bottom. I hope you can find the one or ones that you're looking for, but in the meantime, please drink responsibly.